Action.
So I got into music first by starting in the hip hop way of things. I was a big fan of Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, Kid Cudi, all those guys, and really wanted to. Felt like I had something to express, so I started writing some rhymes and started playing some shows and getting out there, and that was my first kickoff into an actual music career.
Yeah, my start was actually through karaoke and jam bands. Had a good time doing it, and was like, "Hey, I want to start a new band," and that's where it became. That's where it started, right there.
Hmm.
I would say me. I grew up with my dad, who took me to see Ozzy when I was 5, and then when about the time I was 7, I heard Metallica 1, and I heard those double bass in that guitar, and I was just like, heavy metal is cool. This is what I love, and ever since then, I've kind of played around with it.
Some of my biggest musical influences, I kind of just name dropped a few: the Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, Kid Cudi, Lil Wayne guys. My first major rock influence was Motley Crue. Once I saw those guys and just saw how big they were, just about being like a real rock star. I fell in love with that. I was like, man, I want to go to hotels. I want to party. I want to play the shows later. That's what I fell in love with originally, and then I found a love for Metallica and some really cool riffs, and then I those were my biggest influences: Metallica and Motley Crue.
I grew up listening to AC/DC and a lot of Black Sabbath. Also, I actually had a rap phase too back in the '90s, so I like my Snoop and Dr. Dre, all them guys. But if it comes to rock, I'd have to probably go back to the original, like AC/DC.
Um, I say for me, I mean, I because of my father, it definitely started with people like I was a big Ozzy fan, Black Sabbath fan, but as I became older, I fell in love with like Mudvayne and Korn and bands like Shadows Fall and Killswitch Engage, and even to nowadays to bands like A Day to Remember and I Prevail. So I'm pretty much all over the place.
Well, to me, music is everything. I listen to it all day long. I do a lot of driving at work. I listen to it while I sleep. I can use music to manipulate my moods. If I purposefully feel like feeling sad or purposefully feel like feeling happy, I can play whatever song and whatever genre I want, and music will affect me that deeply. So it's generic, but music means honestly everything.
Music for me is my safe place. If I'm having a bad day, I can always refrain back to music and put a smile back on my face. And also, I like getting my points across through music and lyrics. So that's a big thing for me.
Um, I literally wake up at 4 o'clock every day and turn on Spotify and start listening to music. Like I probably listen to music probably 80% of my day. Like that's I'd rather listen to music than anything else. My wife probably is crazy over it, but so well, this is what I'm gonna do. So deal with it. Savage Theory. So when we put this band together, I knew Tom could do the hip hop. We came from a hard rock band, and we wanted to mix. I'm a metalcore guy, so I wanted to be able to mix all these styles and influence them together. So I started thinking about Savage, like to put all these styles together, you got to be a Savage, and then you got to have the theory to put it all together. Is where, and then it's where I kind of created like a mad scientist logo, because it's like putting all the potions and the pieces together to make this cool sound, which will be really cool. I think people will really get to see that when we drop our next release. Uh, that's pretty much it. Yep. Yep.
this one.
All right. So our songwriting process is pretty cool. So typically, and it changes per every song. Typically, it'll start with one of us guitar guys. Maybe will come in with a riff, and then some of the guys in the band will say, "Okay, whoa, that riff is pretty cool." And I also heard you play a riff last week. So we start piecing together riffs. Once we kind of have something that's we start catching a vibe on it. Okay, so now we got these riffs we're putting back and forth. Okay, then we got some bass we're throwing on it. Then we got some drums we're throwing on it. Once we get something I believe that is viable, Kapler can then step in and he's kind of doing his thing and he gets a vibe to it, starts creating some melodies, and really it's a very collaborative thing that we do, because one guy might have an idea over here, but by the time it goes through all the different guys, I mean, the song goes from one place and then it ends up in a completely different space, and a lot of times, almost every single time, it's for the better. So, and that process will alter per song. Sometimes we've started off with bass things, sometimes we'll start off with a piano thing. It really depends, but we tend to try to get something that's vibeable, and then once we catch a vibe of it, we get the melodies and we get some vocal ideas, we kind of start getting a little bit, okay, arrangement ideas. Now, how do we want to do this? Do we want to do verse, maybe we do a bridge, maybe we do chorus, oh, let's jump into bridge B, okay, let's go back into chorus 2. So we start to get creatively, we start to allow ourselves to open up after we have something that's really solid, and then from there it's honestly just a forever growing product. We have a hard time saying this song is finished. Now, of course, you gotta finish it, record it, release it, but even in the rehearsal space, even when we're playing these things live, these songs are forever growing. We're always thinking of that next cool thing that we can add to it without overproducing, because I think that's important.
And one thing to play off of what Thomas says is, with us being multiple guys, I think the biggest thing we've had to learn, especially in this band, is to listen to everybody in the band. Like,
yeah,
everybody has an opinion, and it might sound dumb, and the idea might sound stupid, but let's at least let everyone have a voice, and let's at least try that idea, because you never know. Sometimes a dumb idea becomes a great idea,
the best idea.
So I think that's the biggest thing, is just being patient and being able to let everyone in the room have a voice and trying these different things. And I think that's another one that helps create this Savage Theory brand.
So I think, we slightly touched on it. Where do we start exactly in the song? And to answer that question directly, we might start at one of those three places. We're not going to limit ourselves to say that we have to start on guitar. We got to start with lyrics. We got to start with melody. Really, wherever the idea starts, it starts. And then we just allow that idea to blossom between all the members of the band from there.
That's a good one right there.
The best way to know, I think, when a song is finished is when you can feel it, right? Like, you want to feel that. And I don't mean, like, you got to be able to feel everything. Like, you got to feel the music. You got to feel the lyrics. Like, you got to put in your car, for me, and turn it all the way up to 10 and say, yeah, that's it. That's where it's at. That's what it needs to be. And from there, we take it to the studio, chop it up, and we'll give it to you.
Lyrics for me, expiring things for lyrics, basically. I try to see what's going around in the world and try to write off that to make the world a better place. A lot of times, if there's a lot of hate and pain going around in the world, I try to put a smile on people's face and make them feel a little better. That's my key thing, is to write lyrics that, everyday things people see and that haunt their lives, basically. Basically, I can put it in the lyrics and make people feel a little better. That's a big thing for me.
So our latest single that is out right now is called "Feel the Fire," and I'm going to pass over to my man Robbie to let you guys know what that song is all about.
So, Feel the Fire is basically about the people that aren't taken up by the rapture. So, basically, all the people left behind that are non believers, they're going to feel the fire. Some people believe in God, some people don't. I'm a believer myself, but, you know, feel the fire. It's pretty simple. The lyrics are out there basically. If you're left behind and you don't believe, yeah, you're going to feel the fire.
So this studio experience is actually something a little bit different than I think that we've done in the past. Typically, we would outsource this sort of thing, and we'd write in house, and then we would go out to a studio with an engineer, sometimes a producer, and try to create this product. For this particular project, we decided that we're going to do this in house. Between all of our skills and all the things that we've done in the past with music in studios, with production, we felt like we had all the talents in the room that we needed. So we invested some money. We called up our really good friends at the Best Place Sweetwater. Shout out to you guys. Great gear, great prices. And they came out. We got all the good gear we need. We put this studio together through a little bit of trial and error. We recorded "Feel the Fire." We recorded our next song that'll be coming out in April. It's called "Who We Really Are," and it's a total in-house project, and we're really proud of it.
I think as far as the challenges, it was like Thomas said from the last question. This was our first time ever doing this, so like it was just a lot of trial and error. Like, how can we make the drums better? How can we make guitars sound thicker? How can we get a better bass sound? Um, at the end of the day, I think we did a pretty good job, and we came up with a product that we're happy with. But I think we're even more excited for the next one because I think we've gotten better, and that's what's kind of cool about recording yourself and the way we're doing it is we're literally like learning on the fly. Like, not, I mean, Thomas has some studio experience, and we've all got some recording experience, but like to do what we're doing, like not only like this is a whole new sound, like we're trying to figure out this sound of intertwining all these different types of music, but now we're trying to figure out how to record this music to make it sound the best.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So some of my favorite shows so far is always going to be local shows where we have our local fans, local peeps. So like Hard Times, Fredericksburg. I love playing Hard Times, Fredericksburg, and you can't forget, some of our own shows that we put together at my place, where we had all local bands out there, and a lot of people out there supporting. So some of my favorite shows, honestly, so far probably have to be Hard Times.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I'm gonna agree with you, man. On Hard Times, shout out to Robbo. That is one of the coolest venues, one of the best venues around here in Fredericksburg. And then, like you said, so we actually we put in a lot of blood, sweat, to building a pavilion, about what, 25 by 25 foot stage, big budget on production, light crew, sound crew. We got smoke, we got flames. I mean, we'll put on a stadium style show at my man's property right here. So
And and for those shows at Kapler's property, we call it the backyard. So if you ever see us do a show live at the backyard, that's where it's at. But I'm the one that like puts a lot of the bills together, and I try to build a bill from top to bottom of all good bands. So every band has to bring it. Like if you come there BSing, you're gonna get embarrassed. Because the people that come, I want them to come for the whole experience. I want them not to come just for one band. I want them to go be like, that was a great time. Every single band there rocked. I had a great time. I'm gonna come back.
So my preparation before a show starts with the very first and most important thing for me. It starts first thing in the morning. As soon as you wake up, I gotta wake up. I gotta watch School of Rock. I gotta get my Jack Black in that morning. That movie sets me up. Sets me up for a good show, man. And then after that, it's good vocal warm ups. It's lots of good vocal warm ups. It's making sure that I'm not doing the things that I really love to do. Instead of drinking the cold beer, I gotta have a room temperature tequila. Oh boy. No, and then it's lots of warming up, making sure that I'm super excited about what I'm gonna do that night. Running through lyrics, running through licks, and just making sure that I've sat down and just did the time to be prepared for that night show.
Yeah, for me, it's just taking the time to make sure, hour before the show, I just warm up and do all my stupid sounds and try to hide from everybody. So it's not too embarrassing, but, I just try to warm up, get my voice warmed up, and, pump it out to you.
For me, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I kind of take like a chill approach during the day. Like, if you see me, I might be dressed like a bum. I might be in some basketball shorts and a cutoff and some Crocs or some slides. And then about an hour and a half before the show, I usually like 2 bourbons just because I like to get a little loose.
Gotta loosen up.
And I'll change to my stage get up, whatever I'm going to decide to wear that night. And then about an hour before, I start warming up. And then just slowly, it's just a big build up till I hit the stage, and then it's like explosion for me. That's what it is. So.
So I said this in a previous interview, but the wildest thing a fan has ever done at a show is domesticate me. I was a wild running gunning fella. You couldn't catch me if you tried to. And then there was one particular fan that showed up, and she put the reins in on your boy. So I thought that was pretty damn wild. I didn't think this tiger could be put in a cage, but apparently she got some skills and she was able to do it. So shout out to you.
I think a big thing, connecting with my audience is just a lot of eye contact, a lot of audience interaction. It's not always about the music, it's definitely about the show. So you definitely want to keep people coming back for more and make people excited for what they saw. You just want to entertain. And that's the biggest thing, and make sure people are having a good time.
I think for me, how do I connect with the audience? It's honestly a lot of it's got to do about after the show. I like to hang out and hang around after the show. High five, shake hands, and take pictures and just say hello and really get that connection with you and give you that true honest, thank you, and that real honest hangout after you just enjoyed the performance that we just put on.
For me, when I get up there, I like to be a clown. Like I'll flick off my guys. I'll laugh at them. I'll stare at them. I'll jump around. Like if I can get you to laugh or get you to move your head or even flick me off or whatever. If I can get any type of reaction out of you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. So that's what it is for me. I got one for this too.
The biggest thing, was starting Savage Theory, our career with these boys. I think the biggest thing is, you really have to stay tuned for the music. Basically, try to get along all the time. You got all these guys, different personalities, in a room together, and really think hard and say, hey, we're all brothers here. Of course, music comes, but the friendship of the band and is basically key for the survival of the band. So that's a big one for me.
I think the biggest thing is you gotta have patience, and you gotta understand the human beings that you're in the room with. Like you gotta understand, hey, Tom might not be having a good day. Midget might be mad about something. Shane might be weird. I don't. Whatever. Just you got to understand, and you got to try to look past of what sometimes is going on in the room and what's going on in this person's personal life, or maybe they've had a bad day. So I think the biggest thing that I can say is you got to have patience, and you got to understand everything in the music industry or the business or whatever, like, it doesn't happen overnight. Like, some people get lucky, you know what I mean? But, like, you just got to be patient, and I think you got to be steady. I talked to my buddy Scott Jordan a lot, and he's like, the music business is Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? It's going to keep hitting you. And when it knocks you down, you got to get back up and you got to swing back and just keep it moving.
The advice I would give to any upcoming artist would be, you're gonna hear no a lot, so get used to hearing that, and be able to take that and not take it such a punch in the face. You know what? Like, when you hear no, you got to be able to just roll with it, take that information, figure out how to make it better. Sometimes you could tell those people who are telling you no, maybe they don't get it. But in my opinion, you're gonna hear no a lot. So learn how to hear no, and learn how to continue to build your product after that. Don't let no stop you.
Roll with the punches and be patient and believe in yourself.
So, to me, how do you balance it? That's a really interesting question, because to me it really is a balance, right? And the way that you balance it is that you don't put all the workload on one person. You're in a group of guys, so lean on your guys. If one guy is particularly good at booking, one guy's particularly good at accounting, and one guy's particularly good at branding, well, there's three really important parts there. Boom, boom, boom. All three of those people hit their parts and hit them hard. So that way you're not wasting mental bandwidth and just overexerting one person, so that everybody still is able to hit their business marks, but they still have the mental bandwidth to continue to be creative, to make music.
Okay. I've always said, if I could, I don't know, do it's Jonathan Davis. Like, I love Korn. I love Jonathan Davis. I love his emotion. Like, that's what brings me in. Like, that's what I love about music and, like, heavy metal and hard rock. I love the raw emotion. Like, when you go to a live show and nobody does it quite like Jonathan Davis. Like, he takes a crowd this big and makes it this big. You know, it's that emotion.
I guess if I had to pick one artist in the whole entire world, who would I want to collaborate with? I mean, dead or alive, my man Eazy-E. We need Eazy-E on this. We need Eazy-E on a Savage Theory track. I feel like he would kill it. I feel like that would go crazy.
What about you, Rob?
I just feel like I would collaborate with anybody that has a name to get my product out there. So, bring it on.
Businessman. That's it.
If I can say that I wrote one song, that's so hard. A World So Cold by Mudvayne. Okay. Because that's just a really cool song. Like, the way it starts and it just builds up, and by the end it just goes nuts. I think every song should be like that. Every song in the world should just start and just build and go crazy.
Go crazy. That's awesome. Who about you?
I totally agree with JJ, man. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, if it hits you hard and and keeps on going like that and hits everybody else the same way, I'm good with JJ's comment there.
If I could have written one song and they put Thomas's name under the credits,
let me guess. Cherry Pie.
You close. Nah, honestly, I was gonna say The Unforgiven by Metallica. I love that song. I love the way that it's a build thing, kind of like JJ said, like the way it starts with that acoustic guitar and it goes heavy, and that solo takes you from one place to, I mean, just outer space. I mean, I'm on planet Zebula by the time I'm done hitting that song. So,
Planet Zebula.
Zebula, man. Well, I'm on the way there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever atmosphere that is.
Well, when I'm not making music, I mean, most of my friends call me the machine. Um, we all work our asses off. I live on a big property, so I'm cleaning up that property all the time. I own my own business and I work another job. So, if it's not working, it's music. And that's pretty much the only time I have in my life. Sometimes I get to have a little fun. I mean, we take time to go to music festivals, about one a year. Go with this guy right here. So, we do have some fun off work time, but all in all, work is good.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, of course, got that daily grind, 9 to 5. That shit sucks. But when I'm not doing that, like I said, music, like me and my wife probably go to 1 to 3 concerts every month. And it's really just spending time at home, like spending time with my dog and my wife, like making them mad because that's fun.
Myself, I'm an entrepreneur. I own Robinson's Roofing and Repairs, and that's a plug for the roofing company. Holler at us if you got some roof leaks.
You know, I owe me a couple dollars on that.
Yeah. No, man, just being an entrepreneur and being a father and trying to be a good man at home, trying to take care of the family. And just build a long and bountiful life for my entire family. That's my goals outside of music. Heavy effing metal.
3 words for me is kick-ass entertainment.
3 words.
Tripped him up.
Amazing, great, and beautiful.
Hey, there you go. Yup. You got it.